today's Wednesday, February 22nd, 2023, and we're here for a town board meeting, and in addition, a CDA meeting. To assist with the Pledge of Allegiance, I am honored today to invite fellow members of the Riverhead Club Scout Pack number 242 and their Dean Leader and a beloved town employee, Brian Lennon, to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance and a brief ceremony by the Club Scouts here in Riverhead. And Brian, where is Brian? Can you come forward? It's been a pleasure to have you.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
On my honor. Duty. A scout is excellent job, Scouts. Everybody, we would like to thank you on behalf of Pack 242 Riverhead. These are our Cub Scouts. We range anywhere from kindergarten age to 5th grade. Tonight is a huge night for the Webelos 2, which I am a proud den leader of. It is my honor and privilege to have worked with these young boys and girls since almost 5 years ago. Tonight, because we have taken a tour of the town hall and also met with our elected officials, our Webelos 2, which are these 4 individuals right here, including my son Katie, have not only just earned their Arrow of Light, which is their largest accolade in Cub Scouts, but also their only badge that they carry, of their many badges, but their only badge that they carry from Cub Scouts to the further advancement to their next troop in scouting. Also on top of that, our Cub Scouts here at Webelos 2 tonight has also completed all of their requirements needed for Cub Scouts. So this has been a long journey. We've had many, many adventures. We've gone camping, we've gone on many trips, and everything has culminated here tonight at Town Hall for our Cub Scouts here, where they're going to be graduating in March on the 26th, and the rest of our Scouts here will be doing the same in years to come. We want to thank our community for taking the time out to have us tonight, our town board and town supervisor, and all other officials and dignitaries. Thank you so much on behalf of 242. We really appreciate all of your time. God bless.
Absolutely wonderful.
Great
job,
job.
Brian.
Thank you, Brian.
Great job, guys and girls.
fellas.
Good job. See you again. Take care.
Hey, take care.
Great to see you.
Have a great meeting here.
Thanks, Brian. That was wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brian, and thank you to the Club Scouts for joining us this evening. And Frank, do we have anyone from the faith community with us?
Yes, as far as I see, we're supposed to have Reverend Susan E. Moody from the Wading River Congregational Church in Wading River.
Hi.
Thank you, Reverend.
Margaret.
Please join me as I pray. Dear wise and loving God, we come before you with grateful hearts, grateful for your many and abundant blessings. We are grateful for life itself and for the health you have given us to fulfill our callings. We're grateful for our homes and our families and for friendships that encourage us and strengthen our hearts. We thank you for the freedom we enjoy in this country, for the people who fought and died to protect our right to that freedom. And I even thank you that in this nation we have the freedom to embrace you and the freedom to reject you. And I thank you that you love us no matter what we've decided about you. Thank you for establishing the governing authorities in this nation to promote peace and order and justice. And I pray for the various levels of city officials in Riverhead, and in particular for this assembled board. I ask that you would give them wisdom to govern amid the chaos in this world and the chaos that impacts our community. That you would give them a sense of the true needs of the people of Riverhead. That you would give each one on the council a keen thirst for justice and rightness. Make them confident in what is good and fitting, and help them work together even when there is a difference of opinion, for the good of the community as a whole. I pray for the agenda that's set before them today, especially the appointment of new police officers. I pray for the ones who will join the force and the ones who are already there, that you will let them work together in unity for the good of the community. Give this council wisdom and discernment as they work their way through their agenda. Help them listen well to one another, and may your peace overflow in them and through them as they work on these important details. Jesus, it's in your name I pray. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, Reverend.
Thank you, Frank, and thank you, Reverend Moody.
Excellent. Thank you, Reverend.
And I just have a quick personal note. I don't like to really speak too much about personal stuff, but recently you haven't been seeing me at town board meetings. Unfortunately, I shattered an ankle, required reconstructive surgery. Reached a milestone. I'm on my way to recovery. It's going to be a long recovery before I walk, but we're getting there, and I want to thank the board. We've been in touch. We kept communication. People dropped all things that I had to, so we never lost any services to the town, and I'll be here as much as I can as I recover and eventually go into rehab in 2 months from now. And so we're positive. It's a positive thing that we're moving forward. And before we move on to our regular meeting agenda, I am very, very pleased to deviate slightly from our normal sequence of events here on our agenda, and call a resolution number 2023-132. Appointment of probationary police officers. Rachel Dorosky. Brandon Williams and Zachary Koiwa. They are about to be appointed as full-time police officers to the Riverhead Police Department. Does anyone in the audience want to comment on this resolution before us? Okay, hearing no one, we are now going to proceed and have our town clerk call the vote on this resolution.
Resolution 132.
Cast the vote, please.
Wait,
Oh, you gonna read it?
whose is it? Yeah.
Okay, we have one person out, right?
Diane, do you have this?
Okay, okay, I'll get it.
132?
132.
I have it.
I'll read it.
Okay, great, thank you.
Appointment of probationary police officers to the police department. So moved.
Second.
Vote, please.
Kern.
Yes.
Bayrock.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Aguirre.
Yes, absolutely.
Resolution 132 is now adopted.
Police officers Dorosky, Williams, and Coyle, please come forward for your swearing in. Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear to uphold the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of the State of New York, and faithfully discharge the duties of a Riverhead police officer to the best of your abilities, so help you God?
Yes.
Congratulations, officers. Now we have your shields, if you individually want somebody to put your shield on you. Huh?
They have it on already.
Oh, they did give it to them, okay, usually sometimes we do. Okay, great, so you're good to go, please be safe. Got a
Have the
long
family come
career,
up for some
it's a great
pictures?
career.
Yeah.
And
Any
not
family
everybody can
members
step.
that want to come up for a picture?
Want to
that'd
take a
be great,
picture with
yeah.
the family, please come forward.
One at a time, wait till you see that, you guys step out. Back. No, Rachel's first. Rachel's family, you know. Runs in the blood there, Dorosky. This is the, yes, right?
Yeah.
Great stuff.
This is our newest basketball player.
Oh, good,
We
good,
need,
good.
we need them on the top.
Yep, come on forward.
Plenty of room, plenty of room. Squeeze them in, shoulder to shoulder.
Great.
Best of luck.
Congratulations again to our newest police officers. And if family members want to go and celebrate with their newly appointed officers, you can, or if you're more than welcome to stay here. So if you want to, go ahead, don't feel you're compelled to be here.
We're having a party.
Because it's going to be a long night. So go and enjoy.
Good luck.
Free water.
Congratulations all. Great stuff.
Yeah. So next in our agenda, in collaboration with the Labor Management Committee, and I know I speak for the entire town board in saying, we are very pleased to present two deserving employees with the designation of Employee of the Quarter and 2022 Employee of the Year 2022. For Employee of the Quarter 2022, I'll invite Margaret McKay, Highway Department Accountant Clerk Typist, to please come forward. And before we present the certificate to her, I know Highway Superintendent Mike Zaleski will want to say a few words. And is Mike here?
He is. I saw him earlier.
Yep.
Yep.
There
There
he
he is.
is in the back.
This hard.
Mike, can you come forward?
Shortly he can.
We need a TCO to get you here.
Congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations. Do you want to say in a few words, Mike?
Yeah, sure.
And then Tim Hubbard, the Supervisor's Office Liaison, is going to read the Certificate of Appreciation.
So I just want to say quick, Margaret McKay works for the Highway Department, but I know she's getting recognized here with Labor Management Committee. When I first walked in, I thought she was also becoming a police officer. But Margaret takes her work very serious, and she takes a lot of pride in everything she does. And she's very, very committed with the Highway Department. All the duties she performs and everything, she does 110%. And when she was on Labor Management Committee for how many years? 10-plus years, always threw herself into that committee, and that is between the workforce and management through the town. And she always took a lot of pride in that, always helping all other departments, employees, running the raffles, fundraisers, goes out of her way to organize and help. It's a group team effort. And I've always watched Margaret, the couple events I've went to, she has all the raffle tickets everywhere, and aprons on, and everything she does, she takes a lot of pride in it. And I'm glad the town is recognizing all the effort she's done over the years. You very much deserve this.
Certificate of recognition. I, Yvette M. Aguirre, Supervisor of the Town of Riverhead, together with the entire town board, proudly recognize Margaret McKay for earning the designation of Employee of the Fourth Quarter. The Employee of the Quarter program was established in order to provide a mechanism for the Town of Riverhead to recognize exceptional employees upon the recommendation of Labor Management Committee. Margaret began her career at the Town of Riverhead as a part-time employee in the engineering department before becoming full-time. 13 years later, Margaret transferred to the Highway Department, where she continues to work as an account clerk typist, wherein she assists the public in person and by telephone with a wide range of queries from road maintenance to snow removal. And where are my leaf bags? Margaret also served on the Labor Management Committee, LMC, for over 10 years, where she worked tirelessly to ensure annual LMC events were successful. I hereby congratulate Margaret McKay on being bestowed the award of Employee of the Quarter and urge the town board and all employees and all citizens of the town of Riverhead to join in sustaining public awareness of this vital member of our staff. Margaret, congratulations.
Congratulations. Well deserved.
Yes.
Come on up,
Anybody want to
McKay
come
family.
up for pictures?
Don't be so
Yep,
shy.
the family can come up.
Don't be shy.
Small bonus to family, but
Do I want to turn your certificate on?
oh yes.
How's that? We'll move, yeah, you can move with the family if you want. Good. Good. That's your daughter? I see them somewhere. You probably hear that, right? A lot?
Thank you.
Take care.
Congratulations, that's great.
Thanks, Mike. Thank you, board. Thank you very much.
Take care.
Mike, great job, bud.
All right, the recipient of the next award was not able to attend here this evening, but nevertheless, we want to acknowledge Justin Berry from the Riverhead Sewer District for being awarded the designation Employee of the Year 2022. Even though he couldn't be here with us to receive this award today, I think it's important that we read it out loud for the record, and Frank is the supervisor's liaison to the sewer district, so we would like you to read his
I would love
proclamation.
to, and I'm very proud to do so. In recognition as Employee of the Year 2022, and for the brave and heroic life-saving actions of Justin Berry. Those are some big words right there, by the way. Whereas it is both fitting and proper, the supervisor, together with the entire town board and the citizens of the town of Riverhead, join together and proudly recognize Justin Berry for earning the designation of Employee of the Year 2022, and as a hometown hero who has shown bravery and heroism beyond the average person. And whereas Justin began working at the Town of Riverhead Sewer District in March of 2018 as a maintenance mechanic 2, where he is dependably and willingness, his dependability and willingness to go over and above for the sewer district became apparent to others within the department. Having received most of his training on the collection system and having demonstrated solid command of the concepts, Justin is now in charge of operating and maintaining the collection system, which consists of 24 pumping stations and 24 miles of gravity and force main sewer. Justin is always quick to answer a call during off hours or to fill in for someone when needed. Justin's commitment to the Riverhead Sewer District is apparent, and his ability to follow instructions and to get the job done make him an invaluable member of the sewer district team. Now, whereas Justin has also served many years as a dedicated volunteer firefighter for the Riverhead Fire Department, responding to calls day or night. Most recently, Justin answered the call of duty to a house fire, and upon arriving on the scene and learning someone was still inside a burning house, Justin climbed through a window and carried the occupant to safety. Justin's courageous act is demonstrative of his selflessness and commitment to others. Now, let it be known for his outstanding contributions to the Riverhead Sewer District and for his heroism as a member of the Riverhead Fire Department, Justin Berry is recognized as the Employee of the Year 2022. Now therefore, I, Yvette Aguiar, Supervisor of the Town of Riverhead, together with the entire town board, all employees and citizens of the Town of Riverhead, commend and congratulate Justin Berry and urge all citizens to sustain public awareness of this vital member of our community. Excellent, excellent.
Frank, can you deliver that to him whenever you get a chance?
I will make sure that Michael Reichel can get this to him
get it delivered to him.
ASAP.
Okay,
Very
great.
proud day.
All right. So moving on with our meeting agenda, we have one brief announcement today at our town board meeting. The town of Riverhead is seeking applicants for the Ethics Committee, the Independent Audit Committee, both are volunteer positions, and also for candidates for the planning board. So if you're interested, if you're an interested party, please submit your resume to the town clerk, and you also have the option of submitting a resume through the Indeed website. The websites have been checked today, and they are open to receive resumes. Moving forward, can I have a first and a second to close the town board meeting and open up the community development meeting for today?
So moved.
Second?
The vote?
Kern.
Yes.
Bayrod.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Aguiar.
Yes.
The town board meeting is closed and the CDA meeting is now open.
Okay, so we're going to call up Dawn Thomas, our CDA director, who is here to conduct the CDA meeting. Good evening, Dawn.
Good evening, Madam
Dawn,
Supervisor.
get the mic to you.
Happy to see you back.
Thank you.
So we have a short agenda tonight, the approval of the minutes of 2 regular meetings in January, and that concludes the resolution, so I think we could take comment on those resolutions, if any.
Okay, anybody want to comment on those 2 resolutions before us? CDA resolutions.
Then we'll go ahead and call the resolutions. The first will be the approval of the minutes of the regular meeting of January 4th, 2023 at 2 p.m. Need a
So
motion
moved.
and a second? Okay. Second?
A second?
Okay. Kern?
Vote.
Kern?
Yes.
Rothwell? Oh,
Absent.
absent. Bayrod?
Yes.
Hubbard?
Yes.
Aguiar?
Yes.
The minutes of the January 4th meeting are approved, and the second resolution will be the minutes of the regular meeting of January 18th, 2023 at 6 p.m. Need a
So
motion?
moved.
and a s-
Second.
Okay, Kern,
Yes.
Bayrod,
Yes.
Hubbard,
Yes.
Aguiar. And Those
Yes.
those resolutions are approved, and that would leave us with open comments from the public on CDA matters only.
Hi, how are you all doing?
Bring the mic down just a
Yep.
little. Okay, great.
Welcome back, Mr. Supervisor.
Good evening.
I was coming up to ask if anybody wanted the opportunity to comment on the $398 million lawsuit for failure to pay bills. Anybody?
Okay, this
No
is a
comment.
comment
Okay.
period, so, okay.
That was a comment.
Okay, you made a comment, okay. Anyone next? you.
Yeah, I've missed you
Haven't
too.
seen you up here.
I was traveling for work, so I've
Okay.
basically been away for most of the last 2 months with the holidays.
You know, because a town board meeting is not a town board meeting.
Oh,
That's what come up here. You know that, right?
I'm touched.
Okay.
And I
Were you in Cuba?
Yes, in fact, also in Vietnam and Cambodia, countries
wow.
that are allies of the United States in many ways. That's the work I do. Any rate, I want to raise a couple of questions having to do with, of course, EPCAL. As my memory, which of course could be wrong, is that when this whole process with IDA was introduced, we were told that this would be concluded by the end of December. It obviously wasn't. I was struck in the reports about Tim's candidacy, and congratulations, that he refers to the possible pending sale of EPCAL. And that's a very soft version.
It's very vague because that's where it is right now.
Right,
It's
well,
still
that's
very
exactly
vague.
what my question is. I mean, how, obviously, you basically handed this over to the IDA and are waiting for them, and we don't know what's going on in their process. It's, whatever it is not public in the least, though I think it should be. At this point, they're doing their internal conversations and investigation, and then they will make a recommendation. And that's when it will become public, and whether that's enough of a public involvement, I think, is a substantial question that I'm sure will be a heavily debated issue during the coming campaign. But I think the point that was raised about the 300 million plus lawsuit of contractors that have not been paid by the Germasians is relevant to the IDA. I think that the IDA will not be fooled by the shell game of multiple independent companies, and of course, the indebtedness of one has no impact on the other. But we'll see how that goes. Obviously, the other important event that took place was the passing of Daniel Preston, who contributed, although the fiction was that he was going to contribute expertise and technology and help to define the utilization of EPCAL. We know that the only thing he was adding, and the only thing that justified his 25% ownership in CAT, was that he brought this very dubious deal of $40 million for 1,600 acres that was slipped by, which Mr. Hubbard, you voted against, I think very appropriately, but the majority, the shifting majority, seemed to always have managed to keep this project in play. And the question I would end with, I think the question of what is the implication of this indebtedness is important. But the other question that I'm really interested in, and will ask during the course of the campaign to all of the candidates, is the language that is in the letter that was sent by Kat and the board to the IDA, where if IDA approves this, this is considered prima facie a case that they've provided adequate financial information. But the way it reads is, Kat and the town agrees that the seller shall have the right to declare the agreement drafted as null and void if the IDA decides that they don't have the financial requirement, they don't meet the financial requirements. Now, it's funny language. The seller shall have the right. And so my question now and during the coming campaign will be, will you exercise that right? If the IDA turns down the Germasians, will you exercise the right to make this a null and void contract? Or will we find one more reason to play along with their agenda?
John, I think
Thank
the
you.
language is clear there. If they don't have the finances to do it,
it's over.
Well, that's certainly, if that's everybody's opinion, then I think that's very important, because
It's not an
it's,
opinion, it's in the contract.
well, maybe I'm not enough of a lawyer, I'm not a
All right,
lawyer at all,
let's please
to
put a
know
little
what
bit
the
of a
seller
hold
shall
on
have
this.
the right means.
John, this is a town board meeting, and you keep on saying campaign and political. Maybe that belongs doing reviews, doing when people have debates, whether you contact a possible candidate. But we gotta leave politics out of that, and I'm gonna tell you, the contract was not signed by this board, it was signed by a previously board. As a real estate agent, it was the worst contract I ever saw, and we got dealt this big elephant. Unfortunately, I had the support of the board to move this to the IDA, which is a better angle, and I fought very, very hard to make sure that there was a clause in there that if we can't get this through the IDA, and they have a very vigorous process to support our town, then we can walk away. Finally, there was some type of redress.
Okay,
And
that's,
so
that's
Let
great.
me finish, John. Okay, good. Let you say everything you wanted to say. So you take that point, yes, they had to, a certain period of time that they had to submit an application, they went back and forth, they got a little bit of an extension. But just recently, last week, they put down the whole agenda of what's gonna happen. We're a little premature right now, Dayton Town Hall, where's everybody voting? And we have to find out what the finances are. We have them finish their process. So make a form decision. And so that's gonna be happening, they will be vetted, we will be looking at the finances. I will personally be looking at the finances and double checking everything. So there is a process, and there's also an open process because there's gonna be a public hearing under this. And we welcome everybody at that time, when we are more informed, have more knowledge, have a basis and a foundation to be able to make those decisions. So thank you for your comments, but these things are in the work, and I understand your concerns, and thank you, John.
Is this agenda available when you say an agenda?
Yes, it is, it's online, it went online, when did it go online? Remember they sent us
It was, I don't know,
last week?
it was last week or the week before.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Look
I
at
may have
the
missed-
IDA's
You might wanna look
website,
at it.
John, it should be on their
right.
website as well.
Okay, thank you very
Okay.
much.
You take care, have a good evening. Anyone else, want to come forward and make a comment?
Kathy McGraw online.
Okay.
Kathy, you're on?
Thank you. Kathy McGraw from Northville. I'd just like to follow up on the EPCAL deal. When you say there's an agenda online, is that an IDA agenda for how they're handling this? What, the order of things?
Kathy, you have any other questions? We'll answer that if we're going to answer at the end.
The
So-
answer is yes.
It is. So go ahead. You have any other questions?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so let's get the rules out of the way.
I'm
we address
curious
them?
to know, the IDA said that they'd be hiring a financial consultant. And I'm curious to know, I haven't seen any indication that a financial consultant has been hired. And as joint applicants, I would like to know if you know whether that has happened. Basically, where this process stands. And if there is an agenda, that would be very helpful. And then my other question, I could ask it at the end of the other, the town board meeting, but because it involves CDA land, I'll ask it now. At the last town board meeting, there were two resolutions regarding leasing agreements of property at EPCAL on what is called Lot 2 of the subdivision. One for the hockey rink and one for the paintball. And I'm curious to know if we're moving forward on the IDA, if anyone has given any thought to what happens if the IDA issues a resolution and the title of that land is transferred to the IDA. Who then is the lessor? What happens to those lease agreements?
That's an error question.
Eric, but it's not part of it.
And that's it. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
All right,
So,
thank you.
so first, their license agreements, and second, the conveyance of the land back to the CDA is addressed in the agreement with CAT. When we negotiated the agreement for the CDA and the town to jointly submit to the IDA the application that has been submitted.
I just had a correction I wanted to make. There seems to have been.
Name and handle, please.
What?
Name and handle.
Ellen Hoyle, Riverhead.
Thank you.
I always forget that part. It was noted that Mr. Hubbard didn't support the original contract. He was one of the original voters. It was Giglia, Wooten, and Hubbard who supported the passage and signing of the contract. Just 555 and Cat. Thank you.
Okay, next comment, anyone else want to comment on any matter? All right, thank you, Dawn. You want to?
So we just need a motion to close the town board meeting, the CDA meeting, and reopen the town board meeting.
So moved.
Seconded.
Kern,
Yes.
Ayrock,
Yes.
Hubbard,
Yes.
Aguirre.
Yes.
CDA is closed and town board is open. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Dawn.
Thank you, Dawn.
And we're going to move right along with correspondence and figures from our town clerk. Diane, do we have any correspondence and figures to report?
Yes, under correspondence, Danielle Kilfoyle sent a letter with comments on industrial A zoning area in the Calverton area. Mark, I'm probably going to say this wrong, Mayeli sent a letter with comments on proposed amendments to the town code section water. The Business Advisory Committee sent a letter with comments on the cannabis code. Paul Giulio sent a letter regarding the proposed North Point Logistics modern Class A high cube warehouse. Kathy Berezny and Peggy Sparrow sent a letter of thanks to Frank Mancini from the Riverhead Water District. Edward Schaefer sent a letter with comments on the public hearing regarding the water restrictions. Marilyn Banks Winter sent a letter with concerns of speeding on Route 58 and no turn signals. Karen Kemp sent a letter with comments on the comprehensive plan and moratorium. Under reports, the police department submitted their January 2023 report. Tax receiver January utility collection report was $729,521.54. And the tax receiver total tax collection to date as of February 15th was $94,097,486.58. And that's it.
Okay, thank you, Diane. We're going to now move to the public hearing portion of this meeting. This public hearing was scheduled for 6:05. The time now is 6:41. And we're opening up a public hearing for the consideration of a proposed local law to establish the downtown riverfront overlay district. I'll ask Dawn Thomas, our CDA director, who has intimate knowledge, involvement in the revitalization efforts of our downtown, to please come forward and review this matter with us and introduce the topic. Dawn, welcome back again.
Thank you. So this evening, we're here to publicly hear one of two proposals relating to our downtown overlay district, both of which were discussed at work sessions and, in depth with community members. We are proposing the overlay district, which the map is on the easel in front of you. It's effectively the BID, Business Improvement District, and it extends a little bit to include the library and a little bit north of Lincoln Street to the west. So those are the areas that we looked at and thought it would be most effective. So the purpose of the proposed local law would be to limit the types of uses that are allowed per the zoning law. It includes the DC1, DC2, DC3, DC4, and DC5. Those are our existing downtown districts. This district would encompass this mapped area within all of those districts and compress the uses. And the reason that we are recommending this local law be adopted is to ensure that the uses that we are allowing in this area are consistent with the last 20 plus years of planning that we've done relating to the downtown revitalization effort, and most recently the last 5 years of intense strategic planning for the downtown. And I'm just going to go to the ordinance and just briefly outline some of these planning studies, most of which included public engagement, so the public was deeply involved in creating these planning studies for downtown, and so I'll just address a few of those. Initially, it was the Downtown Comprehensive Plan in 2003, the BOA study, which is the Peconic River 25 Corridor Step 2 Brownfield Opportunity Area study. That was very deep public engagement in that study, and there was a creative placemaking supplement to that study. Our strategic parking plan was done with stakeholder and public engagement. The transit-oriented development strategic plan for the Railroad Avenue urban renewal area was done with deep public engagement. Then there was a pattern book that was also deep public engagement. Our Railroad Street TOD development request for qualifications that involved public engagement and the appointment of a specific committee that vetted proposals. That committee was made up of public civic leaders and business owners. We had the Town Square design process, was our virtual public engagement process. That was in 2021. That also included a market analysis. And then we did two studies that aren't listed on here, which I'm going to ask Eric to add, was our Downtown Riverhead Activation Plan, which was, again, done with deep public engagement, and most importantly, the $10 million Downtown Revitalization Initiative Strategic Investment Plan, which was done with a local planning committee and multiple public engagement meetings. And the results of all these studies basically concludes that, and to just summarize it quickly, that our community is looking for a family-friendly downtown. And when you examine the uses that are permitted in the DC 1 through 5 districts, not all of those uses are particularly family-friendly. And so what we're proposing is to restrict the uses within the boundary area to prohibit certain uses. So all of the uses that are currently allowed would continue to be allowed, except for those which are prohibited, and I'm just going to list those quickly. Fraternity, sorority houses and dormitories, smoke shops, tobacco stores, and those selling smoke, vape, paraphernalia, display of firearms, knives, and weapons, any assembly, business or mercantile uses deemed to be adult entertainment establishments, hospitals, surgical, convalescent, rest home, rehabilitation facilities, clinics, urgent care centers, and drug treatment centers, pawn shops, tattoo or body piercing parlors, convenience stores with fuel stations or without fuel centers, automobile rentals, automobile service stations, automobile truck repair stations, car wash, self-service, automatic, with or without fuel centers, self-serve laundry or laundromat, storage yards for delivery vehicles, and then non-transient hotels, motels, as defined to contain sleeping units of more than 2 dwelling units where occupants are primarily permanent in nature. So we wanted to focus on those uses that would be family-friendly and activate downtown. So there's nothing inherently wrong with any of these uses in particular, but some of the uses, if they were on Main Street, wouldn't create the activation that our downtown activation plan is recommending and that the public has supported and been behind. So those were the reasons for the proposal, and we are hoping to hear public comments on it this evening.
Okay, thank you.
Dawn, I just want to say last night, as you know, because you participated, we had a meeting with a subcommittee of the Business Improvement District, and that consisted of business owners from this particular area that would affect the overlay, and also residents. And as you know, they overwhelmingly support this.
Yes.
And they sent a letter today, a letter of support from the bid indicating same.
Yes, and that was a great meeting, and that will lead us to the next public hearing, which will relate to a separate code of conduct for quality of life improvement in the same district, and that'll be coming up at a separate public hearing. That's not on our agenda tonight, in case anybody is wanting to
Tim,
comment.
did you want to relate who these members are? Because it's a wide range of our community.
Oh, it's a wide range of our
Yeah, so
community.
you wanna
It's
relate with it?
business owners from all the included area down there for the overlay district. I mean, there's too many businesses to name.
Right.
The breweries, the restaurants,
Aquarium.
aquarium, yeah, absolutely. All of our businesses downtown, we had a really good representation. The ballet school, good representation there last night. It was a good section of those people, so.
And I think the thrust of that meeting was the partnership between the business community and the town board, and the town attorney's office and my department to continue to make downtown better than it is. And we have made great strides in the last few years, improving the conditions in downtown, but we want that to continue, and we thought this was an important piece of helping that to move forward, so.
Great, so do we have any members of the public here who want to make comment on this resolution before us? Chip, do we have anyone online? Again, last call, any members of the public?
This is for a public hearing, not a resolution.
This is a public hearing on the resolution before us, so the downtown.
Ellen Hoyle, Riverhead. See, I remembered that time. So I was reading through the resolution, and I had a couple of comments. The first note I wanted to make was that according to my research, the comprehensive plan was started in January of 2020, the most recent comprehensive plan idea. That makes it over 3 years. We still don't have a comprehensive plan that's been voted on and accepted. So my question is, first off, why are we determining an overlay district when we have not yet completed that comprehensive plan? You do, as noted in the list, reference the old comprehensive plan, which is now almost 20 years old, as well as the pattern book. And you also reference the first 6 notations on the list are more than 20 years old. The oldest one is from 1993, which would make it 30 years old. You do have 2 notations, plans that are put up by developers. You have the most recent are either based on the unfinished comprehensive plan or on spots of specific reports and analysis and not an overall plan. Going to the actual resolution, I see that in part B, when you're describing it, you're describing the northern portion of downtown as a mix of cultural, commercial, office, residential, institutional uses. The northwest offices, public library, historical museum, single-family residences, retail, and institutional. The northeast portion with residential uses, downtown area, retail offices, workforce, and affordable apartments, as well as the Suffolk County Community College Culinary Arts Center. In Part C, you discuss, that's going to be important later on. Part C, you talk about has completed many plans that analyze the specific problems and potential of downtown Riverhead. And other than the really old ones, I don't see any really substantial ones other than what would be filled by the comprehensive plan that still we're waiting on. Let's see, going on to page, let's see, that was page 8, 9, 10, page 10. You discussed the challenges include a high rate of commercial vacancies, 50%, and abandoned properties. A large portion of that has been due to the commercial residential mixed use that has been left empty. You people keep building apartment buildings with commercial property underneath it that remain empty. You also discussed parking issues at the Peconic River estuary area in the Peconic River. These are the same parking issues that apparently now exist that in the past you say don't exist because you keep approving development and saying parking's not an issue. So why is it now an issue? Under section F, this was interesting. So you note after you mention the Long Island Sign 7, the Suffolk Theater, you say these projects represent the collective public opinion and determination of the DRI. It seems to me that if you cared one iota for the public opinion, there would be far less apartment and proposed apartments, and there would be a moratorium in place at this point. Under section G, the number of uses that should be more specifically described and limited, yet not a single prohibited use is defined in the statute resolution. You discuss, in response to the comprehensive plan's goals and objectives and recommendations of specific area studies, are we referring to the comprehensive plan that was done way back in the day, or are we talking about the comprehensive plan that is yet to be finished? You're talking about the master plan, is that the master plan that we're still waiting on, or the original pattern book, or the original master plan back in the day? So you're also talking about, you're doing this for the development to enhance recreation and tourism, yet the only thing you people seem to be approving of late is apartment buildings and warehouses and such. Okay, moving on, we're up to the section on, this will promote the goals and objectives of the comprehensive plan. Again, which comprehensive plan? As for the resolution 301, 22.1.2, the actual boundaries. The boundaries of the said overlay district are hereby established as shown on the map. The downtown Riverhead overlay map, town of Riverhead, Suffolk County, New York, which map is hereby made a part of this chapter, yet it's not attached. And all notations, references, and other things shown thereon shall be as much a part of this chapter as if fully described herein. The map is on file with the town clerk's office, but again, it was not made public for this hearing. Is that even proper legal notice?
It's right there, Ellen.
Yes, that's not being made ahead of time as required by legal notice under a public hearing. So is that proper, Eric?
I think it's fine.
You think it's fine, okay. Uses, no building structure or premises shall be used. What, now this is a question for Dawn because I know she mentioned it. What about the pre-existing uses? I think you mentioned that the pre-existing uses, unless they are prohibited, will be allowed, but I assume that means if they're prohibited, they are no longer allowed to be in business. Is that correct? Anybody?
Businesses that are currently there that won't be recognized through the overlay district will still be there.
So
Nothing
that-
says anything different.
No, I was just clarifying her wording, was that as long as it was stated that if it's a permitted use.
Yeah, she's coming up to the,
Okay,
let her
that's what
come
I'm
up and
saying.
clarify this.
No, that's not right, yeah.
So the United States Constitution would require that any use that was established prior to the implementation of the new zoning would be permitted to continue.
Okay. Okay, now we're going to go to the section on what exactly are those uses. Prohibited uses are not defined anywhere in here other than when it gets to the residential group. Let's start with the public display of firearms, knives, and weapons. Since we're having a gun shop downtown, what will this include? What's the definition of display? Will they be allowed to have store facing from Main Street facing windows? Will they be required to have gates on those windows? Hospitals, surgical centers, convalescent rest homes, rehabilitation facilities, clinics, urgent care centers. Why would you not want these particular things as you have created a highly dense population in the downtown area? Now, I can understand why you wouldn't want surgical centers and whatnot on the ground floor, but there should be no reason they can't be on the upper floors of some of these buildings. In creating a highly dense area, why would you not want an urgent care center? A lot of these people who are now in these apartment buildings don't have transportation to get to Route 58. Tattoo and body piercing parlors. I don't know that that's not in conformity with family friendly at this point in our lives, as today tattoos are more common than not. And I've seen a lot of families go down and get family tattoos. Convenience stores, this is my favorite. There's no definition of what a convenience store is. Is it a deli? Is it a market with a certain percentage of other items? Or is it a code word for bodegas? Self-service laundry and or laundromat. Again, you're now creating a dense residential population who can't travel because of lacking of cars and whatnot and public transportation, and now you're making it so they can't even do their laundry. The only thing you have sort of managed to define is the residential group R2. Now, since you don't mention where R2 is or what it is, it's only a slight definition. The other comment I had had to do with the pattern book. Since you referenced the pattern book, we're gonna go back to that one. And it had to do with, if you're referencing the pattern book, which has a defined set of design standards, why would you not include that design standard in the permitted uses and plan? Statistics say that, going back to the tattoo parlors, 40% of those under the age of 40 have tattoos, including some minors with their parents' permission. Did you also meet with the civics as opposed to just the bid? Or did you just meet with the bid, or did you meet with the Riverhead Downtown Civic Association?
Met with these stakeholders who are business owners and residents of the downtown.
So
area.
did you meet with the Civic Association that now represents the downtown?
We met with the business owners themselves and the residents themselves, not a
So-
civic organization.
Do you ever meet with civic organizations then?
Absolutely.
So then why did you not meet with a civic organization this time?
Because we went straight to the sources.
So how many residents did you interview?
I don't know how many were residents last night and how many were business owners.
Well, how many people did you have?
Probably 30.
So you had 30 people. There were more than that who were members of the Civic Association in downtown. So my guess is you didn't put much effort into it.
Well, your guess is wrong.
No, if you only had
That's
30
wrong.
people,
It's
if you only
very
had
wrong,
30
as
people,
usual.
I'm gonna put that was not much
Going
effort.
on for a couple of years.
What?
A lot of this, I'll let Dawn speak to that. The research has been going on for a couple of years.
Yes, the research has, but it's not been a comprehensive research plan.
But that's an opinion.
I would just address a couple of comments. Initially, there's nothing, again, inherently wrong with laundromats or tattoo parlors, but those are destination uses. They don't need to be on Main Street with a storefront on Main Street, so we're making sure that those uses in this area are activated. Secondly, the basis of a lot of this was the strategic investment plan, the DRI, public engagement, the downtown activation, public engagement, and all of that was very recent and came out of that. And if you read the actual 2003 comprehensive plan, the goals and objectives for downtown were exactly the same then as they are now. We're just moving in a direction where things are happening, and we felt that this was an important code to make sure we keep moving in that positive direction.
Okay, thank you, Dawn.
Okay, Ellen Hoyle from Riverhead again, in response to those comments. So I understand that you wouldn't want these things, the laundromats and the tattoo parlor, to per se be on Main Street, but they could be on Main Street and perhaps have rear-facing into the parking lot in the back entrances, or they could have side entrances. So I don't know that they are inherently not needed downtown on Main Street. The other thing was, again, the plan that she's referencing is from 2003, again, that's 20 years old. And while the plan is going forward, the world has changed since then. And I hope that the town would recognize that the world has changed since 2003 drastically, and that we need to make a plan for the new world. Thank you.
Okay, anyone else? So do we have anyone online, Chip? Okay, stand by. Ike Israel,
Ike, you're on?
Ike, your name?
Yes.
your full
Yes,
name,
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Your full name and your hamlet, if you live in Riverhead.
Yeah, Isaac Israel. I live in Aquabog. And I just had one question on the definition under residential group R2. It says apartment houses, and I don't know if that's the same as an apartment building. Just why
Okay.
why it
We
says
have Dawn
apartment
up here, Ike,
houses.
to answer your question.
So I do think that needs a little clarity. It doesn't preclude apartment buildings. I think it's precluding smaller structures with apartments, so we'll have to look at that a little bit more carefully and either remove that or refine it a little bit.
Okay.
So that was a good pickup, because we've grabbed that one too. Thank you.
And is there you're going to try to put a definition of a convenience store in as well?
Is convenience store in the, I think it's defined in the town code, in the regular definition section. Eric's just
Okay.
checking.
I looked
If not-
online, I
if
didn't
not,
see
we'll
it.
add it.
Just double check. That's it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for your work on this.
Okay, so they're gonna have to work on that. That's it? Chip, or online, anyone else from the audience want to come forward on this resolution? Does the town board want to comment on this resolution? Okay, the time now is 7:04. We're gonna close this public hearing portion, and we're gonna leave it open for written comments at the clerk's office until 4:30 PM on March 3rd, 2023, at the town clerk's office. This concludes our public hearing portion of our meeting today, and we're going to now move to public comments on the resolutions before us today. Does anyone want to be heard on any of the resolutions before us today?
We're gonna have to read Kenny's stuff, so we'll split it up. If it comes to that.
Oh, I thought they were coming this way, and they actually went out the door. Okay. Chip, do we have anyone?
Yep.
Okay, anyone? On any of the resolutions before us? All right, so now we're gonna move forward, and we're gonna have Diane to please call the resolutions for voting today.
Okay, well, the first resolution is number 89, which was tabled. So are we going to untable resolution 89?
I make a motion to untable resolution number 89.
Second.
Okay, vote please.
Kern,
Yes.
Bayrock,
Yes.
Hubbard,
Yes.
Aguirre.
Yes.
Resolution number 89 is taken off the floor, is untabled.
Resolution number 89 sets the fees for usage of recreation and other town facilities. So moved.
Second.
Vote please.
Kern,
Yes.
Bayrock,
Yes.
Hubbard,
Yes.
Aguirre.
Yes.
Resolution 89 is adopted. Now we'll move to resolution 127.
Budget adoption for CP number 72303 Veterans Memorial Park Sanitary System. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote please.
Kern,
Yes.
Bayrock,
Yes.
Hubbard,
Yes.
Aguirre.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 128.
Water District Capital Project 82123 Budget Adjustment. So moved.
Second.
Vote please.
Kern,
Yes.
Bayrock,
Yes.
Hubbard,
Yes.
Aguirre.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 129.
Budget modification for Water District Capital Project 82124. So moved.
Second.
Okay, vote please.
Kern,
Yes.
Bayrock,
Yes.
Hubbard,
Yes.
Aguirre.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 130.
Appoints a call-in recreation aide to the Recreation Department. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote please.
Kern,
Yes.
Bayrock,
Yes.
Hubbard,
Yes.
Aguirre.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 131.
Appoints a call-in recreation aide number 2 to the Recreation Department. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote please.
Kern,
Yes.
Bayrock,
Yes.
Hubbard,
Yes.
Aguirre.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. We'll skip Resolution 7 since we already adopted that at the beginning of the meeting. And move on to, excuse me, that was Resolution 132. Now we'll move on to 133.
Accepts Highway Superintendent's request for Town Board resolution to promote an AEO. So moved.
Second.
Vote please.
Kern,
Yes.
Bayrock,
Yes.
Hubbard,
Yes.
Aguirre.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 134.
Reclassifies a maintenance mechanic to. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote please.
Kern,
Yes.
Bayrock,
Yes.
Hubbard,
Yes.
Aguirre.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 135.
Accepts the resignation of a water treat plant operator 2B. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote please.
Kern,
Yes.
Bayrock,
Yes.
Hubbard,
Yes.
Aguirre.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 136.
Approves a leave of absence request. So moved.
Second.
Vote please. Kern.
Yes.
Bayrock.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Aguirre.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 137.
Approves the attendance of one police department employee to the DCJS MPC training. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote please. Kern.
Yes.
Bayrock.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Aguirre.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 138.
Authorize attendance at judicial continuing education program. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote please. Kern.
Yes.
Bayrock.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Aguirre.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 139.
Extends bid for electric motor repair, replacement, including emergency repair for the Riverhead Water District. So moved.
Second.
Vote please. Kern.
Yes.
Bayrock.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Aguirre.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 140.
Authorizes town clerk to publish and post notice to bidders for police uniforms. So moved.
Second.
Vote please. Kern.
Yes.
Bayrock.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Aguirre.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 141.
Authorizes the town clerk to publish and post bid for clean and Telby sewer tributary to the Cranberry Pump Station. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote please. Kern.
Yes.
Bayrock.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Aguirre.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 142.
Approve special event Chapter 255 application for New York Marine Rescue Center, Paddle Battle, Long Island. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote please.
Kern.
Yes.
Bayrock.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Aguirre.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 143.
Authorize supervisor to execute a license agreement with Racetrack Knott Street LLC to utilize runway at EPCAL. So moved.
Second.
Vote please.
Kern.
Yes.
Bayrock.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Aguirre.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 144.
Approves fireworks application for Baiting Hollow Club, March 4th, 2023. So moved.
Second.
Vote please.
Kern.
Yes.
Bayrock.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Aguirre.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 145.
Authorizes the Community Development Department to apply for a New York State Environmental Facilities Corporation Water Infrastructure Improvement Act W2A grant for infrastructure improvements to the Riverhead Water District. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote please. Kern.
Yes.
Bayrock.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Aguirre.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 146.
Authorizes the supervisor to execute an agreement with the Nassau County Police Activity League Lacrosse Unit for referee, umpire services, and team fees for Town of Riverhead Police Athletic League Boys Lacrosse Program grades K through 8 for the 2023 calendar year. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote please.
Kern.
Yes.
Bayrock.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Aguirre.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 147.
Authorizes the removal of all litter, garbage, refuse, rubbish, yard waste, weeds, noxious plants, grass, and/or rank vegetation in excess of 10 inches in height upon the premises known as 202 Meeting House Creek Road, Riverhead, New York, known and designated as Suffolk County Tax Map 686-2-25.3 pursuant to Riverhead Town Code Chapter 251. So moved.
Second.
Wow, that was energetic.
Kern.
Yes.
Bayrock.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Aguirre.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 148.
Classifies special permit application of 644 Roanoke Avenue as Type 2 action pursuant to SECRA 644 Roanoke Avenue, Riverhead, New York, Suffolk County, tax map number 600-126-4-3. So moved.
Second.
Vote please.
Kern.
Yes.
Bayrock.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Aguirre.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 149.
Schedules public hearing for the special permit application of 644 Roanoke Avenue, 644 Roanoke Avenue, Riverhead, New York, Suffolk County Tax Map Number 600-126-4-3. And before, should that be the address repeated twice?
I assume it's the same like an LLC or something.
Okay. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote please.
Kern.
Yes.
Bayrock.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Aguirre. Yes. Resolution adopted. Resolution 150.
Authorizes highway superintendent expenditures. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote please.
Kern.
Yes.
Bayrock.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Aguirre.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 151.
Authorizes supervisor to execute an agreement with Civil Air Patrol. So moved.
Second.
Second. Vote please.
Kern.
Yes.
Bayrock.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yeah, they'll be shooting rockets off tomorrow at the runway up at EPCAL.
Should be interesting.
It'd be
For-
very
for
interesting.
Yeah, they're
studying
SD
and-
Model
rockets.
rockets,
They're
SD
model
rockets.
rockets, if anybody's interested in going, it's pretty interesting.
I vote yes.
Okay, Aguirre.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 152.
Authorizes the supervisor to sign a consultant professional services agreement with Caitlin Buthman. So moved.
Second.
Vote please.
Kern.
Yes.
Bayrock.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Aguirre.
Yes.
Resolution adopted.
I just have a question with this resolution. Is there an end to this resolution? Or is she now going to become a consultant because she's working for the fire department full-time?
Says that it ends
Does it?
on a date certain or the hiring of a new
Okay.
accountant, whichever occurs earlier.
Okay, so where is that here? Is it on here?
It's in the, if it's not on the resolution itself, it's in the agreement.
Okay, because we can't be hiring full-time employees from another department and then paying somebody $125 an hour.
So it's essentially
And what
a
hours are
consulting
going to be
agreement.
working? We don't have any hours.
So in.
Do we have accounting here? Can we just get an account? Hi. Can you just give us an idea, because this is a tremendous amount of money for somebody who's working full-time, actually for the town and receiving funds, and then another $125 an hour. Is there going to be, you want to come up to the front? Is this going to be something that they're going to stay late?
Eric has it too.
I can
Oh,
answer the
Eric,
question.
oh, sorry, thank you.
It says in paragraph 2 of the agreement, the consulting agreement, that it'll terminate on July 31 of this year or upon the hiring of an accountant by the town,
Okay,
whichever
so it's a
occurs
short
first.
term, it's not like an open contract for,
It is. It's to fill a gap because they lost, we had an
Oh,
accountant
okay.
leave, and there's the,
Got it.
they have to wrap up their 2022 report for this, for it to submit to the state.
okay. All right, thank
Just to clarify, Caitlin will be working on a part-time basis for us because she does have a full-time job. It's really just because she's very familiar with the financial system, and we lost one of our most senior accountants. Caitlin has a lot of knowledge. She implemented the financial system, and I've only been here 7 months. So while I'm still learning, she'll help out and answer a lot of the detailed questions that I have. We have another accountant who's only been with us for 2 months, so he's still learning as well. So she'll kind of just help fill in the gaps and just get us through year end and meet all our deadlines. You know, we have,
So you're saying year end, so now it's February, so we're talking she's gonna be on.
unless we get somebody hired in the meantime
Oh.
who can, I mean, we're trying, but it's not easy. So,
I think when you say year end, you mean 2022, right?
well, it's 2022 year end, but our year end goes out until, we have April 30th, we have a deadline for the annual update report. And, you know, that's a set deadline, you can't miss that deadline.
Right,
So,
yeah.
So that's where year end is, it's not next
Not
year, it's not
12/31,
2024.
No, no,
she's
no.
Permanently hiring somebody
Yeah.
part-time at what is it, $125 an hour times 8 hours times 5, we're talking
She's
$250,000
part-time,
a year.
she's part-time.
So,
yeah, she's gonna.
at 120, yeah.
Yeah, she's just gonna be put a couple of hours probably at night,
Okay.
after work to come, and I'll stay late for an hour, come at lunchtime, that kind of thing.
Right, okay,
And do schedules for us that we just don't have the manpower to get to, that kind
right,
of thing.
yeah.
But it's not a long-term basis, it's short-term, just
All
to
right.
get us through year end and meet the deadline. So April 30th is the annual update deadline, and then we have to have the financial statements, done by the auditors also, but that's not until September. So hopefully, by then we'll have another accountant, and we'll have done the AUD, and, you know, we're really hoping more or less just to get through the April 30th deadline.
Right, okay.
Maybe May if we still don't have somebody up to speed in time, but
Okay,
definitely
good.
for the April 30th deadline, for sure.
Thank you.
And the price we got from an audit firm to bring somebody in was $240 an hour, so this is, by far makes the most sense.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, thank you so much. So where were we,
I think we're up to resolution 153.
okay.
Authorizes town clerk to publish and post public notice to consider a local law to amend chapter 289-21 of the Riverhead Town Code. So moved.
Seconded?
Vote please. Kern.
Yes.
Bayrock.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Aguirre.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 154.
Authorizes town clerk to publish and post notice to consider a local law to amend Chapter 301 of the Riverhead Town Code. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote please. Kern.
Yes.
Bayrock.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Aguirre.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 155.
Pays the bills. So moved.
Second.
Vote please. Kern.
Yes.
Bayrock.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Aguirre.
Yes.
Resolution adopted.
Okay, thank you, Diane. This is going to conclude our resolutions for today at this meeting. And at this point, we're going to open up this meeting for public comments on any issue. Does anyone want to come forward?
Yes, please.
Yes, thank you.
Good evening, Town Supervisor Aguirre, Councilman Bayrock, Councilman Kern, and Councilman Hubbard. My name is Liam Russert. I'm with the Civil Service Employees Association, otherwise known as CSEA. Contracted ended in 2012 for our working class members. And we've been diligent at the table, and I just want to actually...
Hold on a second. I hate to interrupt you.
Sure.
You said a
2022.
contract ended at 2012. Let's take that 10 years. or
In
9
December.
years.
In December of 2022.
22. So
Yes.
it's 10 years. Initially, you said 2012.
Yeah.
That'll get reported as 10 years, so, okay. So
Sure.
we got the date, right?
No, we got to get the dates right,
Yeah,
absolutely.
That's right. You have to put it in the contract, right?
Yeah, exactly, no
Okay.
problem. So, December of 2022 is when the contract ended. And one of the main contentions has basically been cost of living and salary. And I think even in this meeting here, with the resolutions that have been passed with reclassification and promotion and trouble maybe replacing accountants, just speaks to the salary. Instead of, and I want to thank the movement that has been made, especially with the people who have been negotiating with us at the table. I think we're close, but I just want to make sure that we understand as much as the infrastructure is being redeveloped here, and there's a lot being invested in the community as far as businesses, we got to make sure that the members of the neighboring area can participate in patronizing those businesses, that they have the money to go and eat at the restaurants, especially if you're going to have, a big restructuring, make it nice. We have about 185, give or take a few, members of CSEA. That's 185 families. Between the CPI going up over the last year to 9%, between the inflation rates, between gas, food, eggs, everybody knows it, everyone feels it. That on its own is enough to make families, working families, hurt, working paycheck to paycheck. Then, if there's ever a payroll error or miscalculation, that hurts and screws up their whole paycheck, and now that person's borrowing money just to get groceries. The cost of healthcare on top of that, we all know it's been skyrocketing, and it's not the fault of anyone here. And I appreciate the board taking that into consideration by looking at not raising the current premiums. But the current share of the premiums can still fluctuate from year to year. So when we look at raises, we can't just keep covering the inflated costs of healthcare, because then with the price of everything else going up, you're not going to be able to afford it. All 185 members live within Riverhead or the surrounding hamlets, Calverton, Aquabog, all the different areas. When they work here, they participate in the businesses in the community every day. They actually go above and beyond. You've honored one of the members here that helped in the fire, and I know there are a couple of others that you'll probably honor in a future date. So they're vested in this community. So just as much as you're investing in the infrastructure and how the town looks and everything, we need you to remember to invest in the working class people's salaries here, so that they can pick up their heads with dignity and respect and take their families out to these businesses instead of having to make sure that they stay home again on a weekend, can't drive somewhere because they don't have the gas money. And this is public service that they do. So I know it's sometimes hard to understand from a taxpayer perspective, and you have to explain to taxpayers why you pay people money. But these are services that are performed at the utmost perfection, as far as you can get as a human being, by these members, and at a much more cost-effective and personal investment than contracting at a private company. So you get a heck of a lot out of the members here. We're just asking before all money is spent, and you have a lot of grants that go towards this too, so it doesn't come out of the general fund. Monies that may have otherwise come out of the general fund. The grants, and it's great, I'm glad you got the grants, helps build up the community, but then that does leave more money in the budget for the working class members. Out of those 185 members, over 60% of them make less than $60,000 a year as of December 2022, when our contract ended. Over 60%. And as you get higher and the members get the salary higher, there's just like 1, 2, or 3 that make more in like the 70, 80, 90 or above. We're talking about 5, 6 members out of the 185. So we really need a restructuring of taking care of the working class here, not just the revitalization of downtown. We're very close, but I don't think we're there yet. Just want to come here to thank you for the progress and thank the members of CSEA for all the work they put in, and hopefully you recognize that.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Anyone else want to come forward from the public? Chip, do we have anyone?
Oh, we have somebody right here.
Okay. Awesome.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, we'll do one online, we'll break it up. You'll be next.
Okay.
Okay? You'll be next.
You're on, Kathy?
Kathy McGraw, Northville. Thanks very much for pointing me to that IDA website and the approval process that's listed there. I've had a look at it, and it's certainly more than we had, but it doesn't tell us anything about where we actually are in the process. When you, as a co-applicant, went to the IDA, it was with great fanfare about their ability to review the financial status of CAT. And that was a very good thing to review, for sure. But it also seems to me that if I am a co-applicant and I want to get this thing moving, I would be asking the IDA, why haven't I seen a resolution hiring a financial consultant? Because if they don't hire a financial consultant, as their resolution indicated, they haven't made any progress on reviewing the financial status of CAT. And so my question is, have you asked them, and do you know if they have hired a financial consultant? Because there certainly hasn't been any resolution to that effect. Thank you very much.
Kathy, I will get back to you on that within the next 2 days. I'll get you that answer.
Okay. Am I correct, Mr. Kern, that they would have to pass a resolution to hire a financial consultant?
Yes and no. I mean, we've hired them in the past without a resolution. So, I mean, it's just part of the process. I'll get back to you tomorrow with a clear answer.
Thank you.
Or Friday. I'm very
Okay.
busy tomorrow.
Okay.
Don't kill me if I don't
That's
get back to
good.
you tomorrow.
That's
Yeah,
good.
just in case.
Thank you.
You get started.
I will get back to you.
Okay, thanks for the opportunity to speak tonight.
Okay, you
my-
are?
My name is Roy Reynolds.
And you're from?
I am from Brookhaven Township.
Oh, welcome, neighbor.
Thank you. I have a copy of a report here I'd like to submit.
Okay.
So, we had sent this report to you last week by email.
And what is this a reference to, sir?
Well, I'll go into it. I got 3 minutes. It's all I need.
Fine.
Oh,
All I need is
We're not Brookhaven, we give 5. We give
I
an extra
know.
3. Oh, no, that's not usually, well,
Okay, as I said, my name is Roy Reynolds, and I'm
Okay.
working with a group of concerned citizens here in Riverhead and Suffolk County. In fact, several from our group are here tonight. We are involved with voting integrity. It's our goal tonight to raise awareness of voting irregularities in New York State, and we're going to be asking for your help. Most recently, we have been reviewing the New York State voter database, also known as the voter rolls, which of course includes residents of Riverhead and Suffolk County. In 2021, a copy of the New York State voter database was obtained and reviewed for accuracy and integrity. Data came from the New York State Board of Elections, the county voter rolls, and the New York State Secretary of State. The report we submitted to you tonight was sent to you last week and is a result of an analysis of the database. The report is known as a deficits report and focuses on inconsistencies in the voter rolls. It affects residents of Riverhead and New York State. What we found is that the voter rolls are not accurate. Unqualified voters are voting, and the number of votes are not equaling the number of voters who vote. As an example, for the 2020 general election, the report found over 338,000 more votes were cast than voters who voted. There were over 740,000 ineligible votes statewide. Over 2.4 million New York State voter ID numbers were assigned to less than 1.2 million registrants. These are known as clone voters, which have multiple voter ID numbers and can vote, and in some cases have voted, multiple times in the same elections. There should be only one state number per voter. Clone voters have been found in the town of Riverhead and counties throughout the state. The report you have tonight concluded that there are over 1 million felony violations of New York State election law. 95 state and federal legislative races were impacted, and a full end-to-end audit by professionals is warranted. To this end, we could use your support. In the upcoming weeks, a resolution will be submitted for your consideration, calling for a statewide audit of the New York State voter database. The voter rolls have been compromised, and they need to be corrected. We need your help. Thank you for your time, and I believe others of our group are planning to address you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Yes, I did know, we were notified you were coming. Thank you for letting us know.
Word got out.
So
Thanks.
we could have an idea of who was coming before us, and that was great.
Okay.
So thank you.
All right. God bless you.
Okay. All right, next.
Hi, good evening.
Hi,
My name is Tammy Topel. I live in Northport, the town of Huntington, but I think I really like your town. Driving through here, it's adorable, adorable, and I love what you're doing here with the Riverfront Display District. This is really, really cool. So anyway, I have been working with this concerned group of community members advocating for voter integrity. It is our goal to make this presentation to every township on Long Island, to every elected official on Long Island and throughout New York State. Upstate, they're way ahead of us. They've, moved through this process, going into the resolution process, so we're doing this, and that's why I'm here from the town of Huntington, as are, these others. So we appreciate you welcoming us here. I'm going to present to you the voter facts about Suffolk County, specifically. As Roy stated, before an election is certified, comparisons are made to check for irregularities. The comparison is done between the New York State Board of Elections, the county voter rolls, and the New York Secretary of State. In the data from the 2020 election, Suffolk County voter rolls demonstrated a few things. There were 4,800 voter discrepancies between the Suffolk County vote tabulation and the New York State Board of Elections, 4,800. There was a 3,500 voter discrepancy between Suffolk County and the New York Secretary of State certified results. Additionally, more than 64,000 duplicate ID members were assigned in Suffolk County. That's 64,000 duplicate, so they were cloned, doubles. 176 people voted without an address of residence. More than 4,000, this one really was interesting to me, more than 4,000 people registered after the cutoff date and still voted on election day. And then 31 people voted who were older than the oldest living resident in the United States. I don't know what that age is. But there were major irregularities with all of the age groups, especially the ages between 90 and 100. There were multiple people registered and voted that were 90, 97, 100. All in all, there were 10,000, more than 10,000 voter irregularities in Suffolk County. Can we say with 100% assurance that those candidates that the people voted for actually got into office? I don't think we can with all of these irregularities. According to the New York State voter law, no election can be certified unless the irregularities have been reconciled. Also, according to New York State voter law, another election after the election that has not yet been certified cannot take place. They are prohibited from having another election. So that means the irregularities in 2020 were never reconciled. Therefore, the 22 election should not have happened. And it's not just these 2 years. I'm sure these irregularities go back 30, 40, 50 years. So I think in this group of concerned citizens that we are a grassroots organization, we think it's time to finally clean up the voter rolls. We want to assure voting integrity in all of our communities. We want to assure that the people who vote, it actually matters who they vote for. Because I've heard time and time again, I'm not going to vote. It doesn't matter. Whoever they want to get in is going to get in. If this is a nonpartisan issue, it is just we want to clean up the voter rolls. And the only way to do that is to perform a full audit. So that's what we will be asking for in the coming weeks. You'll see us back here. You'll get the resolution the week before, and hopefully we can move this forward in New York State and get us back to where we once were.
Well, thank you for the information. What is a full audit?
Yeah, I just got
does
a text too, live stream
Yeah,
stuff.
what does that consist of? I'm just curious.
You know something? I am not the person who did the audit, and it's a great question, but it is looking at all of everything involved in the voter rolls. And the people who did this audit are they have a team of the people who actually performed the audit. And it is, they can come in, give you a presentation. They would be happy to do that.
Wow, that is effective use of 5 minutes right there.
Yeah. Oh, is it over? Oh, wow, I wasn't even looking at the time. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your comments.
I was struck by 4,000 people who are registered under the age of 12 years old.
Hi, I'm Julie Spanarelli from Center Reach, New York. Thank you so much for having me. I grew up in Riverhead. I went to St. Isidore's. I went to Mercy High School. I graduated from Riverhead High School in 1992, and they hired me in Central Islip as a teacher because I went to Riverhead. So I got a great education coming out of here. I'm a math teacher. I love math, and I love numbers. And when I was presented with this, I could read the numbers and say, 2 + 2 is not equal 4. Guys, when I give out 30 tests in a classroom, I want 30 tests back. If I get back 29, I'm definitely calling the parent whose kid didn't turn in the test. But if I was to get 36 tests back from 30 kids, I'd lose my mind. I would lose my mind, and that's what's happening here. The numbers don't add up. They literally don't add up. And we have basic tenets of any election. When you're looking out there, we have rules for elections here in our country. Red, white, and blue all the way. The first of them is voter rolls must be accurate. The votes counted must be from qualified voters. The number of votes that come in must equal the number of voters. When we did our report here, 2 + 2 is not 4, unfortunately, here. We have to fix this. I homeschool my children. Yes, I'm a public school teacher by day. We homeschool 5 of our kids. One's now graduated. This counts as homeschooling hours for those guys. They're sitting here learning civics in real life, in real time. We're sitting here giving up our time so that they have a future here in our country, all right? Some of our findings. There are over 2 million voter IDs attached to about 1.7 million people. That's like you guys each having 2 social security numbers. That's not okay. It's never been okay. It's 1 for 1. When you get an ID, a voting ID here, if you move out of state, when you come back in, you're supposed to use that same ID. Or if I move from Riverhead to Central Islip, where I work, and come back to Riverhead, you're supposed to have the same voter ID, and that's not what's happening here. It's not, and it's really sad, and it's affecting races. People are becoming disenfranchised. That's that big word, disenfranchised. How can you be more disenfranchised when your 2 + 2 is 5? I don't matter as much. My one little vote that I spent 2 hours online voting in the last election, it doesn't matter. We have to fix this. We owe this to some of your guys' grandchildren. I owe this to my kids and my future. We have to fix this now. This is on us. And what an end-to-end audit is, means we hire outside people who actually can look at math and say this person was not supposed to vote. This person signed up to vote on January 1st. They're closed to sign up on January 1st. Closed. No one's supposed to be registered on January 1st. Holidays, that's not possible. Lawyer person in the back? There's over there's over 1 million felonies in here, okay? We're presenting this to DAs and everyone else. There's felonies in here. We're saying that there's something wrong. They did the research, and it wasn't just moms and pops like me. I'm talking major statisticians and data people, okay? They found information in here that the average person couldn't find. Almost,
Forensic.
yeah, it's forensic. So when you guys are giving this, we're giving this to you with the hope that you're going to take and run with it. We want you guys to get a fire in you like we have in us that say this isn't right. You got to take it to the Suffolk County Board of Elections and say, hey, I don't know what's going on in your office, but when there's discrepancies, we have to fix it. We have to do this for the next generation, okay? Those little boys are counting on me to stand up, okay? They're counting on me. I thank you for your time, and I hope in my life that you guys can do it. And thank you for letting me get a great education out of here.
Okay.
Thank you.
Take care. Welcome back.
Thank you. Not on my agenda when I came here. I didn't introduce myself before, so I'll do it now.
Okay.
John McAuliffe, living in Roanoke Landing or Rolling Woods, a section of Riverhead. I just looked on in my phone, and I suggest everybody do a bit of research about what we just heard and understand what's going on. This is an editorial from a Syracuse newspaper. Shame on former state Senate candidate Angie Reyna for lending her reputation to a shadowy fringe group challenging the results of her New York 2020 election based on fuzzy math and false assumptions. We once thought enough of her to endorse her candidacy. We emphatically object to her activities on behalf of a group claiming election fraud in New York. I think you need to we have to know that what is going on right now nationally is an effort to discredit the whole electoral process. I certainly am not a fan of the results of the last election, but that's neither here nor there. The point is that these elections have been conducted with great seriousness and with great devotion by people in the county, in the town. And these folks, if you're going to listen to them, I think you need to probe and find out. They say they're independent. Who are they affiliated with? What is their statewide affiliation? What is their national affiliation? How does that fit into an agenda to discredit our electoral process? They may well have some accurate data in there. I think it's worth looking seriously whenever anybody raises questions. But I think we also have to be conscious about what's going on in the country at this point, and we need to assure that Riverhead is not swallowed up into that process. Let me just say one thing more relevant to today's agenda. I didn't bring this up before the resolutions because I don't object to the decision to provide the space for the storage on the runways, but I'm curious about the number that was set of $600 a month. I'm curious about the rental fee that we have set for the use of the runways. And basically, I wonder if we have ever asked to look at their profit statements from the last 2 years of racing, and whether that goes into a consideration of what kind of return the town should be getting from these races. Thank you.
Thank you. There's no one online? Anyone in the audience? Let's call the board. Want to comment on any matter? You can talk about anything you want. No?
I'm all ears, so.
Okay, so this is, thank you everyone. This is going to conclude our meeting for today, for this evening. And can I have a first and a second to close the town board meeting? That was quick. All opposed? All